What's up, everybody? This is the 2024 NADA show recap. Woo! Let's do it. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack. I could not visit all the exhibitors. I could not visit all the sessions, but I did manage to hit the ones that are most important for marketing, in my opinion. And with this series, we're going to go through some of this, what we thought, some highlights, key takeaways, things of that nature, and how I'm compiling so we can actually implement some of these strategies across our clients and beyond. One thing that's great about any conference is it gets you all hyped up. It gets you exposed to new people, new things, new ways of doing old things. And really what it did for me was it brought me out of my daily environment to put me in a more learning situation, right? And it's not like any topic was super groundbreaking. I had heard about a lot of these topics before, but I do like that when you go to a conference, it removes you from your, how do you say, daily muck, daily getting caught up in the routine of things and exposes you to a different atmosphere so you can retain things better and internalize things better and then create new products and new synergistic ideas, so on and so forth. So with all that being said, what I've done for my team and my clients is I have created a doc. It's basically a running notes doc for any of you who have been following me for any length of time. You know I love notes docs, right? So this is no exception. So I decided to map and consolidate all my notes here, and I'll go over this, like the structure of it, because I think this is a great way to really showcase knowledge and things like that, especially to your team. Unfortunately, I couldn't have everyone on my team go with me. And, I got a lot out of things, but I want to be able to share resources with them as well. So this helps that break it out and figure out ways where we can implement some of these strategies. It also allows me to say, okay, I know that these people on my team actually focus on these topics. Let me just showcase the topics for those people, right? Like I'm not going to share social media directly with, someone that does email marketing. Now I say that, but you also don't want to get services siloed. So that's why it's all in one document. I try and always do that centralized communication, keep everything literally on the same page. So rather than that, I put some login portals here. I put a folder with resources, and I organize things into sessions, like the actual workshops, classes, so on and so forth, and exhibitors, companies that are actually, have an expo or a booth on the floor, and ones you can go up with, ones you can talk to, interact with, buy stuff from. So where do we start? Well, I already touched on this a little bit in my last video. Future proof, adapt and win the battle of changing times. I thought this was the most important session and really, focuses on a lot of innovative mindset training for us automotive marketing professionals and lead generation moving forward, right? So one of the main things that automotive lead generation has as an obstacle that maybe others don't is that it's a product that is inherently sold in a physical location. So, and it's a major purchase item. Usually the second biggest purchase item someone will make in their lifetime next to their home. So there's a lot more complexity that actually goes into the lead generation process. There's a lot of vendors out there for this. So this future proof really got right into the core and debunked some of, the common routines and common things we need to have on our websites and our marketing channels to market vehicles for customers to buy. It was run by Troy Spring, CEO of Dealer World. Awesome presenter, awesome presentation. I'm going to take you through the highlights. I'll skim through my notes as we go on. I have the presentation up here as well. I'm not going to give the full kit and caboodle away because I just don't think that's right. But I will give some of the highlight points. So he talked about permission-based selling, which is interesting. It's like, hey, I know you're not expecting my call, but can I take 15 seconds to tell you why I'm calling? Asking somebody's permission, calling out why you're calling them. I like that a lot. That's how we started the conversation. So he also mentioned too, Carvana's infrastructure is correct, but it's not streamlined logistically. What if Amazon buys it, right? Amazon is a logistic powerhouse, predominantly, probably one of the most successful logistic companies known to man and in history. So what if they did that, right? He was trying to draw attention, almost scare dealers. Another example, 250,000 Teslas were sold in one day. One day. They don't even have a so-called dealership. They more so have a showroom. So it's like, holy cow, what's happening there? And the Apple car coming out in 2027, 2028. I think that's in this slide here. It happened, right? The iCar. These companies have major funding behind them. And BYD is another one too, the OEM car company out of China. They're the largest EV retailer. So he was talking about these major companies have a lot of money to burn, meaning they can just take losses for years and years and years to capture market share. I mean, you look at some of the other players too, like a CarMax taking over, even buying used cars at so high prices just to turn metal and basically just capturing a big piece of market share away from automotive dealers. We see this in auctions for the past couple of years, especially with COVID spiking prices. So it's interesting. I thought this burn rate, the amount of cash in the bank, draining, so negative cash flow. These companies like Apple have so much money to eat the dealer's lunch, it's not even funny, right? So that's one thing to think about. And the consumer is changing too. People are used to TikTok, YouTube, Google, and Uber. They want things easily, quickly, right away. They don't want to take a lot of time, so on and so forth. But here's where it gets interesting. CarMax, supposedly, has the best website for auto in the country. They went through the homepage, SRP, and VDP on this actual presentation. On the homepage, the pic of their car is not the freaking car or offer. It's a dad taking her kid, dad taking his kid roller skating. So if I go to CarMax right now and we look, here it is. There's no offer. There's no anything. Excuse me. So again, I'm going to kind of breeze through some of these points. CarMax SRP. So this is interesting. The actual SRP, if we look, let's go to the presentation. The SRP, where is it? Here you go. We can do better. This is a CarMax example, okay? He actually showed the SRP of a dealer site. He blocked out what dealer site it is, but this is basically what it looks like, right? You have conversations up here. You have a disclaimer. You got pictures that are random. Price. You can't even see any call to actions beside this great deal. It doesn't look really good. And then if you look at CarMax, the only thing, again, I just went from that dealer to CarMax, separate website. The only thing they have, year, make, model, price, color. That's it. Nothing else. They maximize the real estate of inventory here. They have all the cars that look the same as all, if they're themed. And it's just a awesome way to present market. And one thing I thought of right away was like, okay, where are the CTAs, right? And he actually said CTA Stack, okay? CTA Stack, meaning, where can I go? I can't even see it on here. I wonder if he has a picture of it. CTA Stack is basically just your call to actions. So great deal, that's one of them. He says your CTA stack is not needed. They tested the stack versus the non-stack on a DI site that's dealer inspired. Everyone was nervous too, but they're actually converting at 65% non-stacked versus stacked, and leads went up 18%. It's crazy. People don't even need CTA buttons. I mean, I find that hard to believe. I want to A/B test it, but it's like it kind of makes sense. I'm still scared to do that because we get a lot of good play off the CTA buttons. Let's see. He referenced Tesla Model 3. He referenced Lucid homepage. This was interesting. Leads should really be worked by human staff for the first 7 to 10 days. After that, have a 45-ish day marketing automation follow-up that could be used by AI. FB leads, Facebook leads as an example, followed up by a longer-term automated value-giving engagement strategy after the 45-ish days, right? So basically, the first 7 to 10 days should be worked primarily by a human, mostly in the first 3 days, then a little bit lighter in the remaining 4 to 6, 4 to, how do I do math? Whatever amount of days to get to 10. And then 4 to 7. And then have a plan after that. Also, why are your leads from 3 months ago not being worked? They should be, right? They should be. And how do we spot check that? How are we spot checking that if we think they're, oh, yeah, they are. Okay, let's spot check a few. Lead to visit ratio. That was cool. Like, that's one of the main metrics that I saw Troy Springs and Glenn Pash of PCG Digital talk about. Lead to visit ratio. How many leads are you getting versus how many appointments are we setting? And I go over that a lot with my dealer clients, right? And this was the last big piece. If you're not selling 50-50 new to used, you should be. A lot of dealers, especially new car franchises, are focusing on new, where that we should really pivot and make sure they're focusing on used as well. So that's to help mitigate inventory situations, too much inventory, demand being different, the manufacturers playing games as far as raising prices and things like that. You need to have a used-centric focus. So some next steps we talked about, build a different website because I think all the dealer website providers are not great. Dealer Inspired, Dealer.com, Dealer On, Giselle, who else? Pixel Motion, maybe. I mean, they're all subpar, in my opinion. They all have opportunities to convert. My thought was, let's build a Shopify theme. Let's go e-commerce legit. So that's what we're going to look at there. That's all I'm going to go over right now as far as this video. It's future-proof, adapt, and win the battle of changing times. As part of the series, I will keep going over other pieces of content. I'm going to keep going over the other sessions, such as regulatory and compliance issues, driving digital marketing success and improving ROI, how to earn unfair share of digital sales, strategies to capture missed opportunities on the website, and as well as exhibitors, including AI, chat, CDP, or customer data platform. We'll go in all that, but one thing at a time. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you in the next installment. Stay tuned.